everybody, my name is Wade Nelson. You should probably already know me if you watch this video from Bright Mountain Restaurant in Denver. I'm going to show you today how to make my take of a New York Sour, which is, I call it the Big Fig Sour when it was on our menu. And so a little history of the drink. A New York Sour is a take on a whiskey sour, which was first written about in the 1860s. It included whiskey, lemon juice, simple syrup, and egg white. When I make those, I don't usually use egg white. I usually use agua faba, which is the liquid from a chickpea can. And what you can do is you can strain that liquid out, give the chickpeas to chefs, they do something with that. And then you can use that as a thickening and frothing agent. Doesn't quite work as well as egg whites, but behind a busy bar, it's a lot less messy, and you don't have to worry about health concerns about pasteurized eggs. Well, I digress. So going back to that, so after that whiskey sour, somebody added a float of red wine on top and called it New York Sour. This was in the 1870s. And that red wine, I like that version of it, because that red wine gives it a nice aroma. You get that fruity notes of the, I like to use a fruit forward wine on mine, but you get the aroma on it. You also get a great color, great texture as the red wine slowly fades down into the drink. It just makes it a lot more complex. So I did a take on that I called the Big Fig Sour. And I'm gonna show you how to make that one. And to start off, the barware you're gonna need. You're gonna want a shaker, you're gonna want a jigger, you're gonna want some sort of spoon. I'm using a swivel spoon. And you're gonna want a strainer. This is a Hawthorne strainer. Let's see. And then as far as the product you're gonna want, I'm using an overproofed rye. It's Old Forester rye, it's 100 proof. I like using rye in this cocktail just because I like the depth that the spice from the rye adds. But you can use any kind of whiskey you like. Then I'm also using simple, and I'll use a half ounce of that, an ounce of lemon juice, and that's gonna make my sour. And so with the sour, normally I do it per order. If it's gonna be a really busy night, sometimes I'll batch it out a little bit if I know we're gonna go through it. When I send this home, I am gonna batch it, so use an ounce and a half of our house-made sour mix, and it will be fresh squeezed lemon juice. Then I'm also gonna use our fig puree. You can buy that at a lot of specialty stores. And then finally, kind of a fruit-forward red wine, like California Malbec I'm using. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the simple syrup. It's kind of standard protocol to use mixers first, just because if your mix is off, you don't want to have to pour out your liquor down the drain, because that's usually the most expensive part. But sometimes after you squeeze a bunch of lemons, it seems like that's going to be the one you'd least like to waste. And then 3/4 ounce of our fig puree. And this one you kind of got to shake in there pretty good, because it's going to be thick. And like I said, I don't use egg white or agua faba in this, because this fig puree will thicken it up nicely. That being said, it doesn't quite get the froth, but it does still get thick enough for your red wine to float on top. All right, I'm gonna grab some ice. All right, so here's the important part. You wanna make sure that you get a good solid seal on there so you don't make a mess. And then generally use 2 hands. I have been doing this a long time, and I don't have, kind of gotten a bad etiquette of using one hand. It feels a lot more comfortable to me, so I use one. I have a good buddy who's a Frenchman from the West Indies, from the Caribbean, and he kind of shakes and does this and really gets into it. So if that's what you want to do it. For me, I just grab it and shake the hell out of it like a barbarian. Then what you're going to want is your Collins glass. So leave that, and fill that with ice. And so I'm going to use fresh ice for the Collins glass. Because sometimes you use that used ice in there, but I'm going to use fresh ice. Get this out of the way. And then use your Hawthorne strainer and strain it in there. You'll see it comes just under the lip, right where. And then use your spoon. Slowly pour the wine over top. Then you'll see it floats up nicely, and will slowly start to drain down. Finally, you want to garnish it. I like to use a sprig of thyme. I like the aroma that gives. And a lemon wheel. I like the look of it, since there's lemon in there. And voila. So this is one drink I like to use a straw for. Usually I don't. With this one, I like that because you can get the different mix of flavors as the wine slowly goes down. You can try from the bottom, from the top. You can mix it, whatever you like. So that's good. So you have everything to make this at home. Have fun doing it and enjoy.